Good morning, all. Today we are going to learn a poem. I think my dad is Dracula. The poem is from section C and it's a funny poem. So let's see what the poem tells us about. Let's find out who is the author who wrote this poem first. Ken Nesbit. The name of the poet is Ken Nesbit. Is an author of several books of humorous children's poetry. This Ken Nesbit is very famous for the comedy poems or humorous poems. That means funny thinking like. So he writes such poems a lot. What are the books he wrote so far? Including his most recent collection, When the Teacher is Not Looking. So the new poem he wrote was When the Teacher is Not Looking. It's about the naughty children who are very naughty in the classroom and whatever things they do when the teacher is not there, is not looking at them. His poems have appeared in every book in the acclaimed Kids Pick the Funniest Poems series in the school textbooks around the world. So, whatever poems he wrote about children's naughty nature, those poems have appeared in the book Kids Pick the Funniest Poems series in all the textbooks in the world. And he writes a popular children's poetry website, and his poems are also consistent winners of the Read, M and Rate, M contest on www.gigglepoetry.com. So even he has a website also. The website name is www.gigglepoetry.com, where we can find some more funniest poems of Kin Nesbit. Now let's find out what the poem tells. This poem is about a child's thoughts and opinions about her or his father. She has good reasons to have formed such an opinion as stated in the poem. The mother tries to convince her against the idea. The poem is about a child's thoughts and opinion about her father. In this poem, we see a child thinking something peculiar about her father. What the child is thinking? She has good reasons to have formed such an opinion as stated in the poem. She thinks about her father as a Dracula. What do you mean by Dracula? It's a character in horror fiction movies, like a vampire, like a devil. So, Dracula means a kind of devil. So, the child thinks about his father as a devil. So, let's see what's the next thing. The mother tries and convinces her against the idea. So, mother tries to convince the child and try to change her opinion. Now, let's read the poem. The first paragraph. I think my dad is Dracula. I know that sounds insane, but listen for a moment and allow me to explain. We don't live in a castle and we never sleep in caves. But still, there is something weird about the way my dad behaves. I never see him go out in the daytime when it's light. He sleeps all day till evening, then he leaves the house at night. He comes home in the morning saying, Man, I'm really dead. He kisses us good night and then by sunrise he is in bed. My mom heard my suspicion and she said, You must be out of your wit. Your father's not vampire, he just works a night long shift. So let's explain the poem now. The first paragraph, let's read it once again. I think my dad is Dracula. I know that sounds insane, but listen for a moment and allow me to explain. So the child is telling something about his father. What it is telling? I think my dad is a Dracula. Dracula means a devil. I know that sounds insane. I'm telling that my papa is a Dracula, but you may feel that it's a foolishness. How a child can tell about his or her father like this? But still, I tell the same thing that my dad is a Dracula. So, why I am telling this? Just listen for a moment. Allow me to explain why I am telling my papa as a Dracula. The second paragraph, we don't live in a castle and we never sleep in caves. Why I am calling my father as a Dracula? Because see, we don't live in castle. Castle means palaces. And we never sleep in caves. And we never sleep in caves. Caves means the place where the animals hide themselves, shelter themselves, like a den, what we call. So we never live in castle. We never sleep in caves because we are human beings. We live in houses, normal houses. But still, there is something weird about the way my dad behaves. We live in normal house, but my papa behaves in a peculiar way. Weird. Weird means strange. Peculiar means different from others. Like why I'm thinking my papa is a Dracula because even though we live in a normal house, but still there is something weird about the way my dad behaves. But my papa behaves in a bit weird way. Means bit strange way. How his papa behaves. Let's find out. Let's look at the third paragraph. I never see him go out in the daytime when it's light. He sleeps all day till evening. Then he leaves the house at night. What's strange about my papa? What is weird about my papa? I never see him go out in the daytime when it's light. So, like other fathers, my papa never go out for his work in the morning. Daytime means morning here. He sleeps all day till evening. What my papa does then in the daytime? He sleeps till evening. Till evening he sleeps. So he sleeps till evening until it is dark. Then he leaves the house at night. My papa leaves house at night. Not like other papas. Because other papas leave home in the morning, come back in the evening. But here, my papa leaves house at night. It's very strange about him. It's very weird about his behavior. Now let's look at the next paragraph. He comes home in the morning. He comes home in the morning saying, "Man, I'm really dead." He kisses us goodnight and then by sunrise he is in bed. So if he goes out in the evening, when he comes back? He comes back in the evenings. Sorry, he comes back in the morning. He comes home in the morning saying, "Man, I'm really dead." Means I'm very tired. He feels like he is very tired. He tells, "I'm really tired." Really dead means really tired. He kisses us goodnight, but he never forgets his children. He comes to them, he kisses them. He kisses them and saying good night, and then by sunrise he is in bed. So by the time children gets up, he will be sleeping. So when the children goes to the bed, he will go to work. When they are waking up for their school, he will come back and sleep at home. That's why the child is telling that his father behavior is bit weird or strange. Let's look at the next paragraph. My mom heard my suspicion and she said, "You must be out of your wit. Your father is not a vampire. He just works a night long shift. He just works a night long shift." So, what my mummy said about my opinion about my father? She says that my mom heard my suspicion. Suspicion means doubt. What she says? She said, "You must be out of your wit." Wit means very funny character, making fun of everything. So that's called witty nature, wit. She says, "You must be out of your wit." She asked me to stop my funny way of answering. She clarified the doubt. How? She says, your father is not a vampire. He just works a night long shift. So, what she says, my father is not a vampire. He goes out in the evening because he works a night long shift. He works in the night shift. That's why he goes out. Now, the child's doubt is clarified by his mother. In that way, the child had a funny thought about father and now it's clarified by his mother. So this is the poem. Let's find out some answer for the questions. Quest buzz. Here we see some questions. Let's find out what are they. Why does the speaker in the poem compare his father with Dracula? Because the father goes out in the evenings, comes home in the morning. That's why he is compared with Dracula. Where do you think Dracula lives? As per our knowledge, Dracula lives in caves in the forest. What does the father do that makes the speaker suspect him? The father goes for the walk in the evenings and comes in the morning home. That makes the speaker suspect him. When does the speaker come to know about what his father actually does in life? When his mother clarified the doubt. Then the child understood that father actually work and he spends his time in his working place at night. How old do you think the speaker is? Would you have called his father Dracula had he been your age? Explain. So the child must be around 8 to 10 years old at this time. He would have not called his father as Dracula if he was my age. The poet next question. The poet has used a figure of speech in the very first line of the poem. What is that? It's a metaphor. What is the rhyme scheme used by the poet? The rhyme scheme used by the poet is A, B, C, D like. Walk with partners and think of two sets of words that are half rhymes. Here, rhyming words in the poem. Those are feathers, words, soul, all. Okay, so I hope all of you understood. Now let's find out few meanings for different words. Let's look at the words which are marked with a red color. The first one is Dracula. As I said, Dracula means maybe it's a ghost or devil or a horror character in any movies. Next word is insane. Insane means foolish or without learning anything properly, speaking over. So means castle means palace. Caves, it's a den or the shelter where the animals live. Weird. Weird means very strange, very odd like. Then let's find out new words for the different. Here at page number 38 you get some different words. Let's see what are they. Here in the first paragraph itself, second line says, man, I'm really dead. Here the sentence mean that I am really tired. So this is next last poem, last paragraph. We see my mom heard my suspicion. Suspicion means doubt, confusion. Second line, there's a word wit. Wit means very funny or very comedy in character. Here, night long shift. Night long shift means it's a working at nights. Children, you must have seen the people working at night. So that is called as night long shift. So let's find out the poem once again. Let's read it. I think my dad is Dracula. I know that sounds insane, but listen for a moment and allow me to explain. We don't live in castle and we never sleep in caves. But still, there is something weird about the way my dad behaves. I never see him go out in the daytime when it is light. He sleeps all day till evening, then he leaves the house at night. He comes home in the morning saying, "Man, I am really dead." He kisses us good night and then by sunrise he is in bed. My mom heard my suspicion and she said, "You must be out of your wit. Your father is not a vampire, he just works a night long shift." So, this is the poem. I hope you understood. Just look at the page number 39, children. There's a homework given to you. You need to work out. Try out given tongue twisters. You may share some which you know with your classmates. So, here there are tongue twisters given. Tongue twisters means which is bit difficult to pronounce. The sentences which are difficult to pronounce. So, what you should do is you should practice them. Let's find out what are the sentences. Which, you wished, which wicked wish. Which wished, which wicked wish. Second one is six slippery snails slid slowly seaward. Six slippery snails slid slowly seaward. Next tongue twister is how much dew does a dewdrop drop if dewdrops do drop dew? How much dew does a dewdrop drop if dewdrops do drop dew? So these are the tongue twisters. You need to practice them. If you know more, you can add them also. So these are things. Some more homework things are given just to go through it and you finish them properly.